Hey guys, it's Latrice. I'm back again here on the Lift Her Up podcast. Let's get right back into my exclusive interview with Jamesha Roberts.
Let's go right back into it. Okay, yeah. So I want to talk about these doors. You said this open can of worms. Yeah, some doors for you. So let's talk about it.
And they were doors that and with our physical eyes they just seem like opportunity. It just seems like opportunity is a market. Okay, it seems like opportunity to our eyes.
Yes.
But spiritually, we don't discern that it's literally doorways. So it's doorways for the enemy to come in, and it's like every time, every one of them is changed. Every one of them is a lockdown attached to it. Every one of them, and I did not see that. All of the people that I was bringing in, communicating with, and continue, like I said, letting them patronize and just doing whatever, like it's now. And I'm gonna say that every client was bad because I can't, but there were many. Like when I reflect, there were many that I should have seen the signs and I did.
Oh, I've seen it. We're saying this, and it's like I don't think people get it. Oh my God, because you are fueling their mission.
Yeah.
You're contributing to their mission, not knowing that you're sowing into whatever deceptive,
completely and
perverted thing, that they're doing. I'm just making shirts or whatever, right? Like that's all you're doing, just making logos or whatever.
Exactly that. And I did not see that. And I have let go of all the feelings of like we go kind of go through that plank on the Daryl Kennedy. I wish I hadn't done that. But guys, like you good? Yeah, okay. I got your heart, man. With me, I said along with that. So let's move along. But during that time, like literally, I could not see that. Like I said, $600. Yeah. $600, $300. All I need, and I had never been as comfortable as I had been then to have what I had, to be able to move what I move or get what I want to get when I get it. Like those type of things will keep you, because that comfortability will keep you in a place that's no good for you because I feel good, and also not having immediate consequences and will keep you comfortable as well. Or I haven't got caught yet, or maybe God has not his hand has not come down.
The judgment isn't there.
Right, it's not like that. The judgment is not. So you think that you cool and you keep going. Or sometimes just the flesh, I need, because at that point I said there's nothing in me. So if I stop servicing these people, then I'm not gonna have anything. I got to keep, like at that point there was no me getting out, like me stopping, and I absolutely couldn't see it, but of course if anything would let up, and I'd be like, okay, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna, what can I do next? Like get fixed. Like almost like exactly. And that's the even the spiritual side thing. No, people do not see is that thing always needs to eat. It always needs to eat. You have to keep feeding it, because once you start starving that thing, that's when a lot of people don't make it over. They get over, when they're trying to come out. They're trying to come out and deliver it. That they got when we got to crucify that flesh, you got to starve that desire, okay? And you got to make that desire come subject. Okay, that desire has to come in. It has to be obedient. So hey now, we don't make it fast. That's right. I could have started that desire. I always did it, and because of my anxiety, partially being rooted in not being taken care of. Ooh. And that even having an effect in my relationship with God. Like, God, how do I trust that you're going to take care of me? I got to provide. I'm independent. Mm-hmm. And that independent mindset, the independent woman.
Are you up my lane?
Are you up my lane? Listen,
I can do it by myself.
Throw your hands up. That's not what I told you. Because the independent mindset, that being independent in everything is really what's messing you up, because you're afraid that somebody's going to drop you. Yeah. You're afraid to let anybody else even take care of you. Anybody else beyond your parents. Even I gave you them.
Yes.
Literally. And they gave them what they had to take care of you. Literally. But you're afraid to even surrender and lean on anybody else other than yourself. You think that you have to, and this is your way of constantly getting that. But you just don't know that the enemy is literally like, this in your day. He's doing you like he did Jesus when he took him up, and said, look, I'll forgive you all this. In a quick second. He said, I can give you this in a second. I can give you this real quick, like, if you just bow down and worship me, Okay, if you just do it, I give it to you like that. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait 40 years. You do not have to wait you don't have to wait 3 years. You don't have to wait. I'll give it to you right now if you just bow down, hon. And every time I was like,
In his weakest moment, while he know he's
when you know I'm praying, you know I'm starved.
that shit.
You know that desire is being starved right now, and you know I need to feel it. You know that craving, I need that fix. I need the fix. And I was continuously going into it. Everyone was open to that. Everyone was open to, and like you said, feeding into even more being ignorant and thinking I'm innocent because I'm just doing graph. That's all it is. I'm just making what he said, and I'm just doing that.
Oh no.
But I'm doing it for people who are operating in witchcraft, being completely rebellious to God, who are controlling and trying to put out products that essentially are roots and that are spells that have been like this is what you were this is what you were, and then this is the gift that I gave you that you were envisioned to do this. You was prostituting your gifts. You was prostituting your gifts to the enemy and letting him sling that thing wherever he told you to go, you went. Whoever he told you to service, you serviced.
Jesus.
You gave him rights of access to your gifts that I gave you, or the ability, because even I believe that we all have a gift as in the ability to do a thing, but I believe that it's magnified even more when we surrender it to God and the Holy Spirit comes in and moves that gift. That's where the magnification of that thing comes. Gifts come without repentance. Listen, that is already in there.
It's already
in there, okay? It's all.
That's why a lot of us can just go ahead and do things, and we don't even
We just know how to do it. I don't even. It was an innate ability. I don't know how I do the way I do. It's exactly like that, but it's different when the Holy Spirit comes in and magnifies that.
That's where the anointing.
Yes.
That's where the grace comes in.
Listen, talk about it. Talk about it. Because when you surrender that thing to the enemy, when you prostitute that thing to the enemy, anything, Jezebel, you know what I'm saying, green,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, but all these things, they're coming in and they're having their way in you, around you, and like and I hate saying prostitution because I know that's kind of probably, you know, it's kind of a sensitive box. It is what it is. But that is essentially what it was, that my gifts had been prostituted and things were perverted. And even to the point where I was literally, like I said, taking the language of and adopting certain things, angel numbers, and so, God, I'm telling you, and I thank the Lord because He didn't let you get too far, but He let me get far enough to see, to see. And I was like, Lord, you wouldn't let me go too far, but I got far enough to see the angel numbers and zodiac. Why was I selling zodiac sweatshirts? What business did you have? You know what I'm saying? Not having a clue when people ask you, like blindly selling these things because and they were, and I will admit to you that when I sold those sweatshirts, that was the most that I had ever made from the most I had ever made, because everybody wanted one. Because why? Because everybody needs something. You know, when it comes to zodiacs, how the zodiacs are, everybody needs something to identify with to tell them why they are the way they are. Rather, they go to everything else except for God to identify with and tell that and find purpose in that thing. Oh, I'm this way, or I do this because I'm a this. Yeah, I do this because I'm a Virgo. I do this. No, that's not why. Well, you do that because you're unhealed. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. You do that because you're unhealed. But God purposed you for something different from that, and He created you to be something different. That's not why. That is not why you okay. Listen, you're that way because you didn't have boundaries. Because years ago.
Oh, Lord.
You know, it's things like that people were looking for something to identify with, and me, and God began to show me, even when I came out of it, how even me jumping around and doing those things and partaking in those things, I never knew who I was. And it showed because I never went by my first name. I never went by Jamesha. I said, I don't want anybody to call me that. I literally rejected my own name from years ago. I said, I don't like my name. Don't call me like only my family can call me that. Like, and I went by every other name. Really, I went by a bit of that. Oh my gosh, my grandma's name. I went by I'm like, you know, and people still joke around with me about it. And I'm like, you know, like, it is what it is. But I literally was running from myself, Jesus, because I did not know. I had no clue, and it was almost as if I didn't mean to be running from myself, but I was running from myself because the enemy was making me feel like who that is, it's not, like, it's not safe. It's not safe for you. You're not gonna be able, like, there's no power in who that is. Like, there's no power in Jamesha. Like, there's no, I mean, literally deceived. Okay, the veil was veiled. Okay, wedding day, veiling. Okay. It was veiling so much that I was really running identity. I was going through my own identity crisis and feeding other people's identity crisis. But God showed me how I was literally going back and forth, going to these things, trying to cling on to everything because I wanted to. I was just looking for something to identify with. I was looking for something to call me to purpose. I was looking for everything else and everyone else. I also had attachment issues, attaching to people and then dealing with the rejection and all that stuff. So I was looking for any and everything to just give me some worth and give me something to be worth of the purpose. And I was looking for it in the wrong places. I was looking for it and I had thought I had found it. I really had thought I had found it because I was going steady there. But then there was a moment, like I said, where I could see that things had changed. I could see it, but I couldn't see it. Like in me, that it wasn't registering as in this is a bad change. It wasn't registering that way. But when I look back, I say, yeah, I know the exact where you flip. I know the exact and you flip. But when I was in it, I didn't see it as a bad change. And as things started to go down for me, I just got to a place where I feel like I began to even just not even want to be, like, not even want to exist. And I had hit that point where I'm like, God, I don't even want to be, like, I know something's off. And I could feel like it was so uncomfortable living. And I was, trying to hide that as well, but still trying to show up. But I did not realize, like I said, with those open doors, everybody that I had attached myself to, witches that I had attached myself in things that they were draining me of as well. And the things that I had come into agreement with, and not even necessarily that they may have been putting things on me themselves, right? But that because the door was open and because I was in sin, it had access to me regardless of whether regardless of whether they had anything to do with it or not. My sin made me an open case. It made me open source. Okay, for the enemy to come in, have his way, and to begin to have his way, giving me wrong desires, giving me like just blowing me to things like even further away from God. Like I said, the angel number, and coming into agreement with those, coming into agreement with monitoring spirits, coming into agreement with those things, and just not. And I mean, what is it? You just blind, just blind, and then even to the point manifesting. And that's one thing that I speak against now, that manifestation, listen, that's stolen good, okay? Stolen good, okay? Manifested good or stolen good. I don't care what the okay? They have stolen goods, and even to the point, and it's funny because none of that ever worked for me. Listen, let me tell you something. It didn't work for me. But because I was just, okay, well, next thing. But the doors were still open, yeah. They were still open, but I got to the point, that really low point, and when I got there, I found myself like, okay, God, I know that you are an option. I just don't know. Like, and I remember one night, actually, my mom had said they were going to one of my aunt's churches. They were having a service. And for some reason, I was like, I want to go. I'm like, I want to go. Mm-hmm. But I knew in me, I was feeling anxious. I don't know what. And I remember sitting in that church, in the back of the church, even away from my mom and them. And I remember sitting back there and looking at them, and they were worshiping, they were singing, and my dad had preached. I believe my dad had preached at night. And I was just looking, and I was thinking, like, is this real? And I remember, I can remember how I felt, that I knew it wasn't me. But part of me was like, what is this? Is this real, God? This is like what is, like, this, are you even real? Are you even real? And the other part was just like it was not me. Like, and I was having all these emotions and things. And when I went home, I never forgot that night. When I went home, I was so overwhelmed by I don't know. And I don't know. Like, God, are you real? Even to the point where, I say this now because I can testify, but was not the case. But I repeated something to my brother that someone had actually repeated to me, and I repeated and actually told them, I don't think that Jesus is the only way. ethnicity. And that's what I'm saying. That you take the language, you take the ideas, you take theology, you take those of the world. Those type of things that come out your mouth that you don't even realize that they sound right to you. It sounded right to me because of everything I was experiencing, everything that was working temporarily, even though it would work for this long. And that plan, find something else. But I hadn't even got to the point where I said that. And I didn't even realize that was why I came into that moment where I did not know, where confusion had completely set into me, that I did not know, God, are you even real? Are you even real? And then shortly after that, I began to desire to have a child, my second child. And me and my husband just began to try. I was like, I have no baby. We started planning that. We started trying. Nothing will happen. And I'm like, I might. In the meantime, I'm still servicing these people. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Not seeing any of this. I'm still servicing these people. And I'm like, okay, like nothing's happening. Everybody else around me is getting pregnant. And I'm like, okay, like well, what's going on? And it's not happening. And I remember one night I had a dream. And this dream stuck with me. But I had this dream. And in the dream, it was like I was walking around like people, they were preparing for a wedding, and I was walking around.
Listen, Jesus.
Oh, so when we see them weddings and stuff in the dream, we already know or something. Listen, you got he coming. You got to be careful. And so I saw in the dream, we were walking around getting ready, and it was almost like we was waiting for the people to get together. And so I remember walking by this podium. And then the lady, it was a lady who, I think she was what you call the wedding planner. I remember walking by, and she actually called me to her. She said, look right here. And where she told me to look, it was a Bible verse. And so I woke up, it was in Malachi 2, I believe. And I woke up, and I went straight to that. And when I read it, like, I cried out, because at that moment, I said, you are real. And you're telling me this. You're telling me now that if this is what I desire, that it's going to require me to really come back to you. And I remember one Sunday, just a little bit prior to that, one Sunday, my dad, because he's a pastor, so I think he was speaking online at this time. One Sunday he spoke about grace. And for some reason, it just stuck with me. And when I listened to it, I was like, man, that was a really good message he had in it. It was like, to God be the glory. And I just went on. But literally from that moment, I began to see the word grace everywhere. Like I remember I was driving to Walmart one day, and I had passed by a church, and on that sign it said grace, and I was like, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? Okay, got you. You know what I'm saying? But then it just kept popping up, and literally the word grace, like, just kept popping up, and I was like, at that point before I had the dream, it was kind of like, okay, like, he was trying to get my attention, and he was getting a little bit, but not enough until I had that dream where the dream was the official yoking up. Yeah. It was the official get it together.
Yeah, it was like, I'm calling you out for real.
Yeah. And it was in that dream as well that he showed me as well, and he told me who I was. He told me what he called me to be, and he told me that he had called me to be a prophet. And I like, what? But it brought me to my knees because I saw in Malachi where it was talking about the priest. And that priesthood, I was like, listen, that priesthood it's important.
That's serious.
And it's important, but he's talking about the priest. And just, how we used to be desiring all these things, but then we out here doing all these things, spiritual adultery, and regular adultery, fornication with the world, or even, chasing after all these things that we compromise. We're compromising that, and yet we still want to be blessed. We still want God to bless us, and God will basically tell us, look, I'm not going to give you this child if you're going to continue in this. I need you to come on out. And I legit had a Hannah moment on that next morning when I had a Hannah moment. And when she was out there, so I had a Hannah moment, okay? And after that, I said, okay, God, okay. Okay, I'm going to turn around. And at that moment, like literally in my heart began to change. And I began to receive him and receive literally his grace over me, because I was like, okay, God, I know I want this, and I'm just going to need you to carry me on, because I got a lot to undo. And he did. And some time after, he had, again, in another dream, gave me another scripture. And I can't remember exactly what scripture it was, but in the other scripture, it was, I believe it was, I'm not sure if it was called telling the people, but basically it was like, you got right. So here, because you listened to me when I came to you before, because you listened to me, then, you know, you good. Yeah, you're good. And then shortly after that, the next month, I actually found out I was pregnant with Riley, and it changed my life from that moment. Like, it literally changed the course of everything. And it was at that moment where God began to unravel and undo everything that the enemy had done up to me, and to even call me something totally different. God called me a prophet, and the enemy was calling me a psychic. Having people asking me, "Are you a psychic? Are you this? Are you what it?" No, and not me not knowing that they're thinking that, okay, she on that team, right? I'm a witch. She probably was, right? Or I'm operating in this time. You probably be, yeah. And of course, because I was allowing the enemy to use me, yeah, I was essentially working in divinity. Like, I was essentially taking part in that. With all this rebellion, I was in there, even unknowingly. Okay? I was in there, secondhand, whatever you want to call it, blind witch, whatever you want to call it. I blind witch, you know, whatever you got to call it. And I was wrong. Yeah, I was there wrong. And the Lord had to undo all of that and really show me who I was. And it was like, after that moment, like a whole new light, a whole new light. And that's really where the redemption came in for literally, it was like a U-turn. It was like a complete turnaround, that I was going this way and my friends and everybody were watching me go this way. And God said no, and he literally turned me around, and I came out this way. I came out this way, and I'm like, okay, God, not only did you turn me around, but you set me free from a lot of things. You really, really rescued me. But then even, and all that, it was my record, the record that I had, that I was building up, even in such a short time, you cleared it. You cleared it. Different. And everything that I had done, you know what I'm saying? You know, the enemy would want me to feel shame and feel like, oh, I did this, I can't, I'm not. No, but everything that I had done, you know, he still uses those moments where, yeah, you might have had them love, but baby, guess what? Guess what? For the sake of my glory, okay? For the sake of my glory, and people seeing my glory and my power and what my love does, you know what I'm saying, and what my grace is, the grace that I have extended, truly, even just seeing the realm or the capacity or the levels that grace goes to, like, for my glory, I'm going to take you from this low place that you were, and put you somewhere. I'm gonna make your name great in the process. I'm gonna let the world see that I'm the one they can come to. I'm the one they come to be redeemed. I'm the one I'm the only one that doesn't, of course, had this created. I'm the only one who they can find that purpose. I'm the only one who they can find everything they're looking for. I'm the only one they can find it in and actually be full. You know, because in the world, in our flesh is insatiable. Yes, you cannot satisfy. Never. There's no depth. Like, you can't satisfy the flesh. You never can. It's going to always crave something. It's insatiable. But like, only I can give that fullness. Only I can mend and make their souls whole again. And only I can really fill them up spiritually and supernaturally to the point where they don't need anything else but me to sustain them. And I can set them in places. I can take them from the places where they never thought they would come back. The things that they never thought. Or they said they never forgive themselves for. They never thought they would. Like, I don't want to turn those nevers into something. It's a forever, into eternity. Because I wrote it that way. But unfortunately, you know, the world and the enemy and everything, it looks like this, and we pay attention to these temporary things, but God was like, I'm the only one that can do that, and I'm gonna use your life. I'm gonna use your life. I'm going to use your life for it. And you got to tell the world, you got
The enemy meant for evil, and he turned him for my good.
That's just,
You are wading through like all the scriptures right now, like all of them. All things work together for the good of them.
amen.
Lord,
Yes, Lord.
according to their purpose.
Oh.
According to his purpose. Oh,
What's that purpose? Listen, it's the purpose. It's the purpose. Oh, Lord, listen, man. Listen, they make all these plans and stuff, but it's God's purpose. It's what he said that always prevails. And I just thank God that it prevailed upon God. I just thank God that it prevailed in my life, because I should have been dead. I should have been dead when I gave birth to my second child. I was supposed to be, because the enemy wanted me dead. You're telling me a little bit, but yeah. Listen, God said no. And God said no. This part of it too. You're gonna tell somebody how it was me. It was my resurrection power. It was my blood that washed you. It was my grace that kept you when you should have been. When you said what you said. When you came out your mouth and repeated something that somebody else said, and you believed it in your heart, I should have got you there, but I didn't, because of my grace, because of my love, because of my patience, because of mercy, which is my unfailing love. It does not fail.
Yeah.
And because it did not fail, here you are today, redeemed. That is my love, but does the redeeming. It's my love, the grace that's undeserved. That's undeserved, but because I created you, because I knew before you were born, I knew.
And what?
Before you were born, I already knew you either going to go through this, and I knew what you was going to come back and be, and I knew you was going to use it, and I knew you was going to open your mouth and testify and tell somebody else that they would come to me in the future. So his name, listen, for him, listen, his glory, all the glory goes to him. It goes to him. It goes to him. It goes to him.
How great was that part 2 of my interview? This entire conversation was just so refreshing. And listen, it is not over yet. That's right. Stay tuned for part 3, the final part of my conversation and interview with Jamesha. Thank you for listening and watching. And remember, stay encouraged.